Everyone knows that feeling, wanting to experience more stories, but struggling to find the time. That's where Audible changes everything. With over 1 million audiobooks and Audible originals, there's a story waiting to spark anyone's imagination. Take The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, the gripping psychological thriller that's keeping listeners on the edge of their seats. Imagine unraveling its mysteries during your morning commute, or losing yourself in its twists and turns while doing household chores. That's the magic of Audible. It transforms daily routines into opportunities for thrilling discoveries. The best part? Members get access to thousands of included titles, with new content added regularly. From bestsellers to hidden gems, every genre imaginable is at their fingertips. And with one easy-to-use app, switching between favorites or discovering new passions has never been simpler. There's more to imagine when you listen. Start a free 30-day Audible trial and get your first audiobook free at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Don't ask me to talk. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I am your host, Stacey Heller.
I'm your other host, Eric Ryder. We're your podcast pals. We're back at it with a brand new edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for being a listener. Thanks for telling your friends, because we need all the help we can get spreading the word about this show where we talk about fun stuff. We take a little 60-minute break, give or take a few minutes, away from the headlines of the world, all the chaos and serious stuff. That's very important. We're not saying it's not, but sometimes you need a little distraction so you can relax and enjoy life. And that's what we're hopefully about for you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, our idea of ripped from the headlines is like, so, did you see that funny meme?
Right. Exactly.
Like, it's life is too heavy all the time. So we try to lighten things up.
And speaking of, you were lightening things up for a couple weeks. Listeners wouldn't necessarily have experienced this because we recorded a couple episodes in advance. But you were off in Tahiti having a great time with a nice vacation. I saw these pictures, and I gotta say I was a little jealous, but I'm so glad that you got to get out there and experience this.
It was unbelievable. I kept hearing my dad. So for my honeymoon, we went to Europe, and we took this lovely sort of barge. I'm doing air quotes, listener.
I mean, Europe's a big place.
Yeah, so on the Rhine. So we went up the Rhine, and
so
it
Germany.
was Germany. Well, yeah, and so then we ended in Strasbourg, where we then took the train to Paris. So it was like this whirlwind trip. And, of course, I take all these pictures with my camera, and then I come back. I have them developed. I'm showing them to my father, who is not by profession, but was a very proficient photographer. And he's like, what's this? I'm like, it's a castle on the Rhine. And he's like, what's this? And I'm like, it's a castle on the Rhine. And he's like, what the? So I kept hearing his voice in my head as I would take a picture, like, it's a palm tree on the beach. Because everywhere you looked in Tahiti was picturesque. And so because it was all so spectacularly stunning, it's like nothing stood out because everything stood out. So then I just put my camera down, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to be present. And that was on, like, day 11 of 13.
Well, at least you got a couple days of enjoyment in.
I did, and we had excursions and things that we did.
I mean, all I know about Tahiti is that, Colin Jost, or during the Olympics, got what looked like the dream gig of a lifetime, and covering the Olympic surfing competition.
Because he's such a surfer.
Yeah, it was taking place in Tahiti because obviously in Paris there's not too many great waves that you can catch a wave on.
Yeah.
But he ended up scraping his foot on some coral, and then that proceeded to get more and more infected over several days. And he came close to losing some toes, I think.
Totally.
But had to be like bubble wrapped. And basically, he ended up having to leave there early because of this and couldn't finish the gig. So it's like one of these beautiful places, but apparently it could also be quite dangerous.
I will tell you, like, Colin Jost, like, I hear you, man, because first of all, we did 7 days on a cruise, and so you would approach these ports and these little islands that make up Tahiti, and actually not Tahiti, but like the Society Islands where we were cruising, and the French Polynesian area in general. And so these little islands that have the light water, which is obviously shallow water, and then darker areas that's all coral. Like, coral is everywhere. It's really healthy.
Yeah.
They really take care of their environment. And so it's everywhere. And then we were excited. We finished the cruise. We disembark. We then head to Moorea, which is one of the islands that we had stopped on, and we went back for 3 more days to spend time in one of those over the water, over like lagoon bungalow type things. And we were like, oh, this is amazing. You can't check in until the afternoon. We go for a swim right off the little back door platform, the whole thing. We're swimming. You see the fish. We didn't get our snorkeling stuff because by the time we really got in, the little area was closed. So we're like, we'll get it tomorrow. We go to get it the next morning, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, there's been a rockfish or stonefish detected in the lagoon, which those things are apparently super poisonous and can be deadly. There also was starfish. Now, not the picture that they showed wasn't like the starfish that we're all thinking. It almost looked more like an anemone type thing. And then there was also jellyfish.
Right.
And they're like, we already had a guest go to the hospital this morning. And I was like, say what now?
Yeah, because they can
So
sting,
I
right?
came all the way to Tahiti to swim like in the lagoon with all the fishies. And they're highly recommending that we don't, because if you're not local and you don't know what to look for, then like you could get stung and it could be really bad. And I was like, at first I was like, maybe they just don't want to have to deal with all of us. And they're just telling us that. But then a couple that we were chit-chatting with, they were like, we saw the lady that got the jellyfish sting, and her whole face was like blown up and it was not pretty. And like, how do you say like, no, it looks fine? So anyway, so it is a beautiful, unspoiled place. And also it felt a little like going to Australia. Like, oh, that snake, don't worry about that. That's just keeping away like the giant spiders. You know, like you just make peace with it. Yeah.
But it sounds like you had a good time and didn't get stung.
Nope.
So that's awesome.
Nope. It was amazing. Highly recommend. And there was a super hot guy. I called him Daddy. They had like a cultural crew on the boat that would sort of introduce you to the culture, the music, the food, some of the traditions. And so you could go to these extracurricular activities if you so desired, you know, besides drinking. And he was so cute. And my favorite thing about him is like he wore a lot of the traditional garb. So basically that comes down to like a sarong type thing or a perio, and then like this giant, you know, shell necklace, and his hair up in a ponytail, and he's tanned and like a bronze god. And then he has his little straw handbag. And, you know, as I'm watching him one day, because he was cute, and we're on the boat leaving the dock from when we had just spent the day, and he pulls out of his little straw handbag his vape and is vaping away. And I'm like, really?
That
it
kinda
just got
spoils
ruined
it. That reminds me of when I went to Scotland, Edinburgh, just place that looks like it's straight out of a storybook, a fairy tale book. I mean, it's all like brick, elaborate architecture, beautiful place. And they had a guy in a kilt playing a bagpipe. And I was like, wow, that's,
quintessential.
Quintessential. You couldn't get more like the idea of Scotland that you have in your brain before you go there.
Right.
Than this scene that
like
I
it
just
smells
stumbled
like
across.
Scotch.
Then I passed by again later, and he's in an alley on his cell phone, and it was just like, oh.
Right?
Yeah, just like, oh, that just somehow just kind of ruins it for me because it's like, well, of course, he's living in, 2017 or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
but
So he's got to
still.
be on his cell phone. But
It's like Santa having a smoke break.
exactly.
It's like,
yes.
what the heck? Yeah, so it was just really funny because, like, I was like, oh, man, right down to the little straw bag.
Mhm.
And then, like, I watch him go into the bag and I'm like, what is a guy carrying a small straw? Like, he made it seem masculine. I was like, should I get Pete a small straw handbag? And, like, he whips out his vape and is, like, taking a couple hits. And I was like, oh. So anyway, so it was fabulous. Highly recommend, but definitely save your shells because it ain't cheap.
Yeah, and bring your aqua socks, it sounds like.
Totally.
Protect those tootsies.
Totally.
Water.
Oh my gosh. It was crazy. But you know what I did? I listened to some podcasts.
Did you now?
Hours. Well, you're really good about, like, you'll listen and, like, sort of like revisit and, hey, how did that sound and whatever. And I'm always like, I listened to it once. I lived through this. So I had downloaded a couple so that when we were flying, I was like, oh, this will be like some good background. And I ended up staying awake through them because I was like, oh my gosh, we're so fun.
We have a lot of fun.
We do have a lot of fun. And I didn't even like just listen to the most recent. Like I went back a little bit and was like, oh, I forgot we did this one. And that was really fun. So, hey, if you want to do the same thing, you can. You can actually go wherever you listen to podcasts and you can go to Don't Ask Me to Talk. You can listen to way past episodes. It doesn't matter that at times the dates and the holidays that we're talking about aren't
Right.
relevant. It's
You'll
still
just know what to be celebrating the next time
exactly
that week rolls around.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really, I was like, oh, we have a good little thing going.
Yeah.
So-
And now you're back. You had that beautiful, relaxing vacation, and you're back in the States just in time to be stressed out again.
Totally. Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Have all that relaxation evacuate.
election week, not cool.
Evaporate. That's the word I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Yes. Like, I mean, to come back in time for election week,
Yes.
it feels like
And we should say we are recording this before we know the results of the election. So we don't know if this is the before times or the aftermath or whatever. Hopefully, either way, America is stronger than ever. Let's say that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Although I did get a little worried. I was driving to work the other day, and I passed by the Emerald Queen Casino in Tacoma on the
Oh, yeah.
freeway coming into work every day.
They always have good shows and stuff.
They do, and they've got a big digital billboard that's like half the size of the building, which is a big building. And I see a big sign that says, War, November 14th. And for a minute there, I thought, there was an invitation.
Yeah. But like,
Like,
okay.
oh, they're getting organized.
Okay. Like,
Oh,
I guess we're
no.
going to get like 10 days pass
At
or
least,
whatever.
yes.
And like,
9 days are going to
9
pass, and
days.
then it's war. Then I realized, oh, it's the band. It's Low Rider. It's totally good.
my
I'm like,
gosh.
okay.
But is it like maybe this is like the Illuminati type thing? Like maybe there's some secret code or something.
It's the Cisco Kid. It's not.
Okay, all right.
The
That's
Proud Boys or whatever. So.
that's funny though.
Yeah,
oh my
but
gosh.
that's where we are in the world at the moment.
We're on tender hooks.
We are, yes.
And so in a way I'm glad that we can be distracted a couple like today. And, because you pointed out before we started recording that it may take a minute. Like, we're in
Right.
unprecedented times. And so
Absolutely, yeah.
we may not be able to make a call.
Yeah, and where we are at the moment in time, it is just completely tied. So we have no idea what's going to happen, but we wish everybody the best, and hopefully you did get out there and made your voice heard.
Totally.
Yeah.
In the poem, If, the first lines of it, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs, it goes on and on. But like sometimes just those first couple lines of that poem by Rudyard Kipling is a good like mantra to have. Keep your head when all about you are losing theirs.
Yeah.
And, speaking of tied, who's never tongue-tied? Us. How's that for a segue?
Yeah. That's quite a tagline.
Well, when you were talking about how we...
I see Mrs. Johnson's kindergarten class are back at it.
Hey,
Typing up some new lines.
They
for
are
us.
a trusted marketing resource.
Right.
Well, I was thinking about your podcast pals and your conversational off-roading and all that kind of stuff.
Combo kids.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was like, instead of percussionists, what if it's podcussionists? Then I was like, yeah, that's not a great one.
All right.
I'm trying.
There's no bad ideas. This is a safe space.
You know what's really crazy, though? For reals in real life, I help people with their branding and their marketing.
Uh-huh.
You know those ads that you hear, during the show?
It's easier when it's not yourself, when you're able to be objective about it, too.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have such good ideas when it's for something
Absolutely.
that I'm not
You
doing.
have great ideas on the show, too. And a great idea I have is taking a quick break. But before we do that, did you have anything else you wanted to leave us with about Tahiti? And we can always come back to this on future episodes if you don't have anything.
Yes,
but.
I would like to say I did not go horseback riding, even though it was offered. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about,
Last episode. Yeah.
So
that was a burning question. So that's good to know.
There you go.
It was a cliffhanger.
All right. That's it. Let's take a break.
We'll be right back with more. Don't Ask Me to Talk. This is Eric Ryder reminding you to follow us on Facebook. We're at Don't Ask Me to Talk, and we're on Instagram, again, at Don't Ask Me to Talk. We'd love to hear from you, so check us out on social media and leave us a comment, leave us a like. Remember, you can always email us directly at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com or leave us a voicemail or text at 475-999-2726. That's 475-999-2726. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals, Eric Ryder.
And I'm the other one, Stacy. I'm not going to give the last name. You know what? Listen to the beginning of the show, and then you'll know my last name. Or maybe it's because we're on a first name basis. The listeners and me.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Heller. Anyway, hey, you know what it is this month?
Yeah, it's November.
Okay. You know what else it is? Banana pudding month.
Oh, okay. I could mess with some banana pudding this month. Yeah.
You know who makes great banana pudding?
You?
Nope.
Oh.
Definitely not. Magnolia Bakery in New York.
All right.
It's such a specific thing, but man, is it good. And as I was looking at the list, I know of all the holidays that I could be talking about, I am clearly hungry as we're recording this because I'm like, oh man, I could have some banana pudding right about now. It was really
It does
good.
sound good. I haven't had banana pudding in forever.
And
so.
they make it with there's almost Nilla wafers or something in it. So it's not completely I would almost say that it's more of a trifle than it is a pudding. Which, with the trifle, you've got the different layers and stuff. And then the pudding and the banana makes the Nilla wafer type cookie thing soft. So then it all does become the same texture.
Yeah, and in the UK, pudding is a generic term for dessert, essentially. So
is that why everything's a pudding?
Everything's a pudding, yeah.
I never knew. I was like, how are they eating all these puddings? I know that they have bad teeth in the UK, but does everything have to be soft?
No.
All right, that explains so much.
Although, oddly enough, I think Yorkshire pudding is not a
That's
dessert.
a cake.
That's like a roll, essentially.
It is?
Yeah,
I'm
it's fluffy.
so confused about. We're going to have to do a whole episode on all of the misnomers of UK food.
Their terms for meals are not exactly clear.
Yeah. It's definitely a very...
tea is dinner, essentially, sometimes. And like I said, pudding is usually a dessert, but sometimes it's not.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
But we love you.
Yes, we do.
Our English friends.
Oh, especially Eric. Oh my gosh. Um,
I had to look up trifle because I wasn't sure. It's nothing to trifle with, of
it
course.
is
But
definitely nothing to trifle with. It's like a layered, right? Am I correct in this?
yes,
And
Go
that
on.
it can be like fruit and cream, and there can also be like a cake layer.
yeah, sponge fingers or sponge cake usually.
Look at me.
Yeah, soaked in sherry sometimes or fortified wine. There's a fruit element, custard, whipped cream. It sounds good. Sign me up. I need a trifle. Somebody send me a trifle.
You know what? Not sponsored, but you could get the Magnolia Bakery banana pudding through Goldbelly.
All right.
Have you ever ordered
I've
anything
never
from
I've
Goldbelly?
never done it, but
I did through Goldbelly.
I
done,
suppose if I ever move away from here, that'll be the time when I go, oh, I need something from back home to remind me of home.
Well, I'll just send it to you.
Okay.
So instead, try something from another region of the country.
Sure.
Like I did lobster rolls once.
Not for me.
Not for you.
I don't like lobster.
All right, I
I'm
won't do that for
one
you.
of the-
You're not a seafood. Like you're not big on certain seafoods.
I like seafood, but lobster is something I never got, which it's just one of those other things that everybody on the planet loves. I mean, really loves. But I just don't like for some reason, like avocados or coffee, for instance. And we've talked about this
totally
at
have.
length, so I'm
And
not
for
going to
once, you're the
go
pickier
into
one,
it. But
which I love.
I'm the weirdo that doesn't like lobster or crab.
All right. Well, let's say then like a cheesesteak from Philly.
That sounds great.
You could go and you could order a cheesesteak from Philly, and they send you the kit and everything. So, and they have like, for me, coming from the East Coast, like I miss the bagels, I miss the black and white cookies, I miss some of those things, and so I've gone on to Goldbelly's and I've ordered some of those things before as gifts for the kids or around the holidays and whatever. And so we should get a sponsorship from Goldbelly,
That would be wonderful.
right?
Yeah.
I'll tag them in the description of this episode. Like, I will totally. The dessert that I had that was amazing is by, I think it's called Life Raft. And it was an ice cream dessert that looks like a piece of fried chicken, like the drumstick. And so it's vanilla ice cream. At its core, it has like a chocolate color covered pretzel. So it's like the bone. And then it's rolled in like a coating and cereal. And so it looks real and it comes in a bucket. It is so good. Highly recommend.
It's rare when something comes in a bucket and is really
I
good.
know. I know.
Actually, that's probably the opposite of true. Usually things that
Popcorn.
come in a bucket are great. I don't
Fried
know what
chicken.
I'm talking about.
Candy.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
If it's
also
in a bucket,
It's in a bucket. It's also diabetes.
you gotta love it. That's the
Right.
slogan, right?
It's in a bucket. How
You're
bad
gonna
can
love
it
it.
be?
It's in a bucket.
That's funny.
I,
It's the perfect tagline for Diabetes Awareness Month.
there you go. Which it is, but it's also Diabetic Eye Disease Month. So,
Do you think the
yeah.
eye is diabetic?
Well, I mean, I suppose people have diseases in their eyes because of diabetes. So, yeah,
Interesting.
right.
I know it's just the way that it's written, and that's like how it's written is how it was written for me to copy it. But I just think it's like interesting, like diabetic eye, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so the eye has diabetes?
I'd never heard of this, but this is, I guess one more reason to try to avoid diabetes if you can.
Well, and if you can't, then you could donate your eye because it's also eye donation month.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Although you probably don't want that eye. But maybe the other one.
Yeah, you don't want to donate an eye with diabetes. You want to receive a good eye.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But-
And you're typically not plucking out, I mean, this is in biblical times, so you're not plucking out your healthy eyes to donate.
Oh my
It's
God.
when you pass.
We sound like such idiots. Or maybe it's just me. I'm okay with it being just me. Oh my gosh. That's okay. I'm all right. Well, and I love the fact that when we bring up some of these observations and awareness things, like they are all absolutely serious, and for the people that are dealing with these things, it is like a legit concern. And also, it's okay to laugh.
Right.
Like, it's, because like the alternative is so depressing.
Of course, yes.
So it's important to talk about it.
And we're definitely not laughing at the idea of people losing their eyes,
No, of course not.
So,
I mean, I can barely see anything, so I feel like mine aren't so great. So I am an
that
organ
is one of those things.
donor,
that,
but like no
as
one's
if
going to want them.
Getting older wasn't like annoying enough that for your vision to get worse, which mine has as well, is really frustrating.
You know what is frustrating? What's frustrating is doing something for a short period of time. So here's a little Tahiti tidbit. We did wave runners, like jet ski things. And
Sounds like fun.
It was super fun, and you're out in the Pacific, and the person that is leading this like tour, if you will, or this expedition, it's not even an expedition, let's call it what it is, like this little joyride, is like balls to the wall, like, let's go. And, like follow about a car's length distance behind the person in front of you and, stay in the wake. And so you're on these like rides and they're like, you can hold on to the person in front of you. So I'm holding on to Pete. Pete's not a small guy. So trying to get my arms around him, we're going super fast. And I was like, is it me or are we going super fast? Because I've never really done a jet ski. And he's like, no, actually, we're going really fast. So I decided to hold on to the little things down at my side. I
handles.
gripped so tight that the next day my forearms hurt so much from
Sounds
holding
like me
on.
on a roller coaster.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. All right, anyway.
Hey, it's Peanut Butter Lovers Month.
Who doesn't love peanut butter?
There are countries where they don't have peanut butter.
What?
And I have heard talk, and I am incredulous anytime I hear this, but some places they don't understand peanut butter. It's like America's Vegemite. Like,
Wow.
You either love it or you're like appalled by it. But I can't imagine anybody being appalled by one of the most fantastic inventions ever, if you ask me.
Like I don't love a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I do.
I don't. But like here we both love peanut butter though.
Right.
Like I have in front of me, listen.
Reese's
A Reese's
peanut
Take
butter cup.
5.
Oh, Take 5.
It's
Okay.
Take 5.
So this is a mashup.
It's a mashup.
Yes.
And I love
I was
peanut
wondering
butter.
how long before we got to candy on this episode.
Well, I brought it as a snack. I have one for you.
You probably
too,
have a
if you
lot
want it.
left candy from the lack of trick-or-treaters this year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because of the rain.
Yeah.
It was so depressing.
We had one group of trick-or-treaters. I feel like the kids, they need to brush up on their trick-or-treating technique.
I felt like a grouchy old lady because
Yeah.
she was very sweet.
Was that your costume, by the way?
Yes.
Grouchy old lady.
Yes. Jet-lagged old lady. She was very sweet and I was not grouchy, but this little girl came to the door and I opened the door and I was like, hi. And she was like, hi. And so I'm like, what do you say? And she's like, thank you. I'm like, no. Like, and her mom's like, say trick or treat. And so she was like, trick or treat. I'm like, there it is. I'm like, no, it's not just like open the door and here's a bunch of candy. I'm
Exactly.
like, come on,
Yeah.
guys. Like, you have to at the very least say trick or treat.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I had the same experience. The kids didn't say trick or treat. I said hello and waited, and then I'm like, okay, they're not going to say it. So I just like started doling out candy, and one kid didn't even bring up the bag. So I'm like leaning over, trying to like awkwardly stuff as much candy into this kid's bag.
Don't reward the behavior.
I just feel like, well, maybe the pandemic got
That was
erased.
4 years ago.
Well, I know that, but maybe because they didn't have the interaction there. I don't know. And that was maybe a couple Halloweens, too. So we're only talking about maybe 2 years
That's true.
of kids being back to normal
That's true. It's
things.
like a leap year.
Yeah. So maybe they just, they don't know. But kids, here's what you do. On Halloween, when you're going door to door, you're supposed to say, trick or treat.
Mm-hmm.
And then hold up your bag or your pumpkin or whatever your candy carrying device is, and then candy will be distributed to you. It's not that difficult, but I imagine if you've never done it before or you've forgotten how to do it, then this is your friendly reminder.
Look at us. It's like a freaking PSA. Oh my gosh. So speaking of holidays, this week it is Men Make Dinner Day.
All right.
I'm like, interesting. It's also, are you a stout guy? Like the drink?
No.
Yeah, because
I don't like beer, period. So
really?
yeah, I am stout. But
oh my God, same.
yes, but I just don't like beer. So
Interesting. I would have taken you as a stout guy.
Nope.
Huh. It's because of I keep thinking of you and your whole interest in the UK and Ireland and Scotland and all that stuff.
You know what they have?
What?
Good cider.
Oh yeah, you're a cider guy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I go for that.
And your birthday's coming up.
It is indeed, yes.
The day before war, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
War Eve.
Maybe I'll be celebrating with that.
So, yeah, we'll have to celebrate that next week.
Yeah, I actually couldn't go to that show because my colonoscopy
is that
is
day.
scheduled for the No, it's the 15th. So I have to be fasting and just having liquid, and I just don't feel like sitting through a war with no sustenance.
So would cider be considered a liquid?
I could do some cider.
So
maybe that's what I'll just get blasted the day before.
That's perfect.
And then I'll be hung over on the table as they do their stuff.
I love it. Which sort of coincides with the other holiday that's this week, Chaos Never Dies Day.
It really seems like it doesn't. But I don't know why we need a day for it.
I don't know. I feel like it's 365, baby. We don't need that.
No.
But it is World Kindness Day, the same day as your birthday.
Okay,
Coincidence?
yeah. And also,
I think not.
Well, that's
You're a
very nice of
kind
you
guy.
to say. Aw, thank you so much.
It's also Sadie Hawkins.
Yeah. Did you ever do the Sadie Hawkins dances at school?
Yeah, back in my day, it was called the Sadie Hawkins Day.
That was this revolutionary, crazy, wild theme that the girl asks out the boy, as opposed to the boy asking out the girl. I mean, I hope we're beyond that, but probably not. Yeah.
Around here, they call it Tolo.
Tolo.
Yep. So in the fall, there is Tolo. Or no, I guess in fall it's homecoming, and then in the spring they have Tolo. And Tolo, traditionally, at least as far as what my kids all experienced, was where the girl would ask the guy. So it was kind of like the springtime Sadie Hawkins. And somebody once told me that the acronym stands for the one last one. I don't know if that's the case. Are you looking it up?
I was actually looking up Sadie Hawkins Day because I was trying to figure out if Sadie Hawkins was a real person, but I guess she's from the Lil Abner comic strip.
I wonder where that came from then.
She was the daughter of Mayor Hexabiah Hawkins, one of Dogpatch's earliest settlers. Okay. And also the homeliest gal in all them hills. Wow.
Wow.
So this Sadie, this may not survive today's norms, but it is interesting.
Well, maybe it's like the girl asks and you're supposed to say yes.
Well, yeah.
If Sadie Hawkins is going to ask you, you got to be nice and say yes.
Right, I guess so, yeah. Otherwise, there could be trouble. But I remember another aspect of this, I think, was that you're supposed to wear matching outfits.
Yeah, and they do that with Tolo.
Okay, so Tolo is the same thing as Sadie Hawkins Day.
I think so.
Dance. I remember one year doing this, and me and the gal that I went with to one of these dances, we made our own pants. So we made matching pants. And I think I still have those pants somewhere.
No way.
Because we were not seamstresses or whatever. So they were very baggy, as was the style at the time.
Back in my day.
Yes, yeah. They were poorly made. But we found some fabric for cheap, and we made matching pairs of pants.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was a fun craft project, I guess.
I mean, that's quite a bonding experience to sew something together.
It was.
Were you dating?
We were, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it did not last.
Because of the pants?
The whole relationship was pants.
Got it. I did find out that the word Tolo comes from the University of Washington.
All right.
Which began as an all-women's honor society called Tolo Club. From the Chinook word for success and achievement. So that's interesting.
It's already less problematic than Sadie Hawkins.
Right? Oh my gosh. Holy cow. On that note, should we take a break?
Let's take a break because we got to get into our topic, which even as I say it, I'm struggling to remember it, but I believe it was birth order.
Yes.
And we'll find out what you were thinking with birth order when we come back. So stay tuned.
So excited to find out.
Don't ask me to talk. This is Eric Ryder. If you like alternative rock, indie, post-punk, art rock, or whatever you want to call it, you may like the band Battersea. Our debut album, Shooting Day for Night, is out now, and you can find it at batterseatheband.bandcamp.com or most places you stream music, like Spotify, YouTube, etc. That's Battersea, BATTERSEA, theband.bandcamp.com. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm Eric Ryder.
I'm Stacy Heller, the youngest of this family.
Really?
No. But I am the baby of my family.
Oh,
my family of origin.
Okay. Yeah, you're jumping right into the topic of the week that the Wheel O Topics handed us last time we recorded an episode, which you would have heard last week if you are subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, you definitely need to subscribe anywhere you find your favorite podcasts. Just look for Don't Ask Me to Talk. And by the way, hey, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are at Don't Ask Me to Talk. So very easy to find. So please like and subscribe, as the kids say.
Totally. And by the way, if there is something that you want to share with us, you can email us at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
Super easy.
Super easy.
Yeah.
You're just asking. That's all.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you because, again, you are the one that puts these topics on the Wheel O Topics to be selected at a future date.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the idea behind the topic of birth order?
So my kids, of which there are 4, they show up what is so classically considered like the Dr. What was his name? I think his name was like Alfred Adler. He's the guy that came up with this theory about birth order and how it affects your personality. And so you've got Annie, who's the oldest. You've got Will and Grace. Yes, I know, like the TV show. Ha, ha, ha. No, that's not why I did it. In the middle. And then Charlie is the youngest. So Annie is such like the caregiver. It's like, you know, mommy's little helper, which, by the way, I didn't ask for help, but that's a role that she took on. And then Will and Grace really created like their own unit where they're like, we're just going to stay out of the fray. So very much the peacemakers. And then Charlie is like, oh, I'm going to come in like a wrecking ball. And every parenting muscle that you ever exercised is like going to be tested. And you're not going to use those muscles. You're going to use whatever muscles I tell you that you need to use. So very much the rebellious one.
Well, hopefully he wasn't dressed like Miley Cyrus when he did it.
Was...
when he came in like a wrecking.
Well, he sort of was. I mean, it birthed
Really?
his little onesie. His little onesie with his little spit of hair.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just saying. So it makes me like, there's theories about whether Dr. Adler had any validity to this. There are studies that have been done that have debunked this notion. And yet, when I think about my own family of origin, my kids, and like for them, their unit, it all like falls into it so neatly.
People like to give a lot of weight to these groupings of people. It doesn't seem to, anytime we debunk one and move on from one, some new theory about people are this way because of this thing, and they get grouped in
we want
together.
Somebody to blame.
Whether it's, race or gender or birth order or
it's my ADHD.
Horoscope.
It was my mother. I'm a Virgo.
Right.
I'm a woman. I'm on my period. I'm an only child. Like, I was born in under a full moon.
And then there's the whole Briggs personality thing.
Myers-Briggs.
Are you this? Are you that? Yeah. And I have found that I don't really subscribe to any of those things, but I'm sure
atheist.
There's maybe a little. I am.
Which is not to say
I don't believe in personality.
Well, I was just gonna say, which is not to say that you don't believe in having a personality. It's that you don't believe
my personality is the lack of a personality.
Your personality was not given to you by a higher power or some other power.
Right. I just feel like everybody's life experiences are so different that it's really grouping people together as they're this type or that type. Inevitably, it seems like that's, just doesn't stand to reason. It's not factual, I guess, is what I'm looking for there.
But don't you think, as a personality atheist, the reason that people have faith in these things is because they're trying to make meaning.
Right. Well, and just like stereotypes, there's some nugget of truth to it that makes people want to buy into it.
Yes.
So
I think that's what happens. I think people are trying to find meaning, trying to find, like, why am I this way?
Right.
And so if they relate to something,
right.
It's like,
I think it's typically, why are other people that way?
Well, yes. God forbid we're introspective. I am actually, in addition to making everything about me, because I was like, I am.
And let's get it off on the table at the moment. What order were you, or what were you born in?
I
order-wise.
100%. I am the baby of the family. I have 2 older brothers.
And so there were 3 of you total?
There were 3 of us and 2 older brothers. So only girl, baby of the family. Like, I just feel like I also think that if you're going to talk birth order, also like the gender which you were born, like that impacts it as well.
Yeah,
because,
that makes sense.
It's like, I don't know if I compare my oldest brother to Annie, the oldest, and my daughter, while they have some traits that are similar as an oldest, like while Jay's, his leadership took on a more like, do it this way, aggressive, like that kind of thing. Annie's took on a more nurturing thing, which I hate. Trust me, I hear you, listeners that are like, stop going with the gender norms. I hear you. And unfortunately, that's how it played out.
Mm-hmm.
And that those, it shows up differently, at least in my experience, for those different groups and the people that I've known that have those traits. But yeah, I'm 100% the baby. What about you?
I guess I was the oldest of.
Yeah.
See, it's weird because in my case, I was the oldest and was an only child for several years.
Right. And then you had a blended.
Well, yeah, then we kind of adopted two foster kids. And one of them was older than me and one of them was younger than me. So suddenly I was the middle kid. But that's not, I mean, that was after I was like 8.
Right.
So that got thrown off. And then my little sister actually was born. And so then she was the youngest. And then later I moved out and then she was an only child.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and that's the other thing. You bring up a good point when there's also some of the factors that come in are your gender at birth, obviously the order in which you were born, and then also the years in between you and siblings. So not only I'm the youngest of 3, the only girl, my brothers are 5 and 7 years older than me. And so I have actually attributes.
I imagine that makes a huge difference.
Huge.
Because,
Because I have the attributes of the baby of the family, but then I also have attributes of a firstborn and an only child. Because, you know, my brothers were like off doing their own thing.
Right.
And so I was alone like for years. And then, but then it also gave me some firstborn qualities where like the pleasing tendency and, those kinds of things.
And, I imagine like there's a whole lot of like chemistry involved in how the personalities that we develop as well. Like I've always been a kind of a naturally shy person. And I suppose if I didn't have that chemistry, because, you can even feel the chemicals inside you, like if you're like nervous or shy, like just acting up,
Totally.
creating that. And I feel like that has more to do with it than, what order you were born in. But I don't know. Like I said, what was it? National Chaos Day. I think that was like my life. So
well, and so one could argue that though, I think the attributes of, so if you subscribe to the whole birth order thing, then only child versus oldest child is very different. And so for a minute you were only child.
Yeah.
But then when you were middle child, even though you were pretty young, very much like the peacemaker, and if there was chaos around you, literally, then you were like, I'm just going to be over here making my pants. Like, don't mind me. And you already had like probably some anxiousness about you, right? And like, so now you're the middle kid and you're like, cool, we've brought in these foster kids and like I don't have a say in this. This is what my parents are doing. And so here we are now. Cool. Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there was probably some of that. But yeah, I I don't know. And you said there's a difference between the oldest versus the only child. And I'm just thinking like every oldest child is an only child for a while until the other siblings come along.
But when the siblings don't come along, it's not necessarily.
But what's the cutoff date? Because if you're, 16 and then your parents have another kid, are you fully formed as an only child at that point? Or are you, suddenly having another kid 2 years before you move out? Does that affect your
And there is
everything?
There's literally a book on this, and there are, it's something like over like 3 years, like it resets or something like that. Which is why my brothers being 5 and 7 years older, it totally resets. So I have absolutely all the traits of that baby of the family, but then I absolutely have some traits as like this kind of only or oldest vibe.
All right.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think that as I get to know you, you're just like, why am I going to borrow trouble? I don't need to be that introspective. Like, that's done now. Whereas I'm totally like, I am clearly looking for, like, I don't know that I wholly subscribe to things, but I'm open to, like, maybe. And you're like, you know what? But, like, maybe not also.
I guess since I don't really have a dog in this race, so to speak, I do wonder what folks can gain from if they subscribe to the birth order theory about our personalities. What can we get from it that helps us as adults?
Well, I'm going to go instead of like the birth order concept, I'm going to say like learning things about yourself. Like for me, like my ADHD piece, right? Now I know one could say, well, like that's a medical thing that's different than like a theory.
We're back to the chemicals.
Yeah, well, okay. So, all right, let me try to think of like what about like PTSD? Like is that chemical or is that like an experience that's occurred?
Yeah.
So would you compare that with the whole birth order idea?
I guess, yeah. I mean,
So, like,
depending
just-
on who your siblings were.
Well, but I'm trying to think of like apples and apples, right? And like things that happen, like again, I keep going back to
Were you stationed in a foxhole with your brother?
well, like I mean, it may have felt like one. You may have been in a war zone at home,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? So I guess it's like there are many of us who are just trying to find like meaning and understanding for like, why am I this way? Because I also find that I don't know about you, but how I am with the family that I've created is different than how I am with my family of origin.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I get back together with my mom and my brothers, like I fall back into that role where I'm like, ha ha, nanny, nanny, mom loves me the best. And, you know, my brother's like, I'm going to give you a noogie. You're such a nuisance. And, you know, my other brother's like, you're both idiots because he's the middle child. And we fall into that role that we created for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess the reason that it's not important, but why people may subscribe or may be interested is because they're trying to figure out, like, is that who I really am?
Yeah.
Is that something that I had to create because it was a protective layer and it's just the role that I had to play? Like, I just think people spend a lot of time and money, myself included, in trying to figure out who they are and what their place is in this world. And was it dictated to them, or are they doing it because it was created by them?
Yeah. And I would say, aside from the chemicals, you are in charge of who you are. And this is my pep talk. For folks.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
You are in charge of who you are as an adult. So who you are and the things you do and the things you say, that's up to you now. And you make yourself what you want to be.
But what do you do when your mom says, I'm disappointed in you?
Bye. Click.
That's a whole nother episode.
And do I believe this 100%? I don't know. But it's something I've tried to tell myself. So, you know, I think it's something we can all tell ourselves.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just, as you say, it's a nice way to also try to explain other people's behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I do tend to be like legitimately introspective and trying to find like out some of these things. But I also think that it's like, like such oldest sibling like behavior, like, you know, or such like only child diva behavior or whatever it is. So it's a way to try to pigeonhole other people and their behaviors.
I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
So unfortunately, we're out of time. We could talk way more about this.
Like
But
the youngest child that I am. I just want to keep talking.
now we got to find out what we're going to talk about next week.
Ugh, such a middle child.
This is perfect because we're in the month of November.
Yeah.
The biggest dinner celebration of the year
Yeah.
is coming up. Thanksgiving, of course.
Oh, right.
And our topic next week is going to be 3 dinner guests. So we could say 3 guests that you would invite to Thanksgiving, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I imagine maybe you were thinking like famous people, maybe historical figures, something like that?
It can be anyone we want, but obviously the idea was to share who and why.
Okay.
So like living or dead, famous or not, doesn't matter.
Your dream dinner party, maybe.
Yes, but it may not be a party.
Well, your dream
I don't
food
know.
fight? What are you talking about?
If you bring if you're like, I'd be fascinated to have Freud. Like you might be lying down with a stomach ache.
Okay.
Like that may not be fun, but it might be interesting. Unlike this show, which is always fun and interesting.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening.
You've given me a lot to mull over this next week.
Mulled cider, it's a thing.
And it's the fall season, so perfect for that. Thanks for listening, everybody. Do find us on Facebook and Instagram and send us your topics. Asking at don'taskmetotalk.com. We love you.
Thanks.